Hey everyone, this little inexpensive thing is the LEGO Creator 3-in-1 Cyber Drone, and I will be showing you all three of the official build main options in this one video. Let's start with this one. It's a speeder. Officially they call it a cyber scooter, and it's just a single person transport that's able to either hover along or fly along. I want to say that this thing is actually able to fly through the air a bit, get some respectable altitude. This looks like it was designed with intent, like this was what it was supposed to be. So it does not look like a, last resort kind of model, somebody just trying to throw something together desperately from the pieces in the set. Like this is respectable in and of itself. So I'm actually very satisfied with this, which is unusual. Usually there's one model in these 3-in-1s that is relatively a throwaway in my personal opinion. This is pretty cool. The figure takes inspiration from some classic LEGO themes, and the head is unique and printed on Translite Blue. It actually has printing on both sides. I think that the production work on this one in particular for the head is not that great, but the print for the torso is very good. The molding for the hip piece almost makes it look like it has a suggestion of a belt buckle in the center there, but that's just where some of the metal flakes in the plastic were swirling while it was all molten and kind of came together in a weird way. But yeah, overall, this is cool. It's an interesting figure. Now, this rebuild option gives us a mech, which is kind of a funny concept when you think about it. It's a mech that's being operated by a robot. And the robot is actually in the mech, not even controlling it remotely or anything. And this is a very different thing, obviously. It does have some decent articulation for the arms. You can move this up and down. That's like a probe or a drill, or you could see it as a laser if you must, a weapon of some sort. On the other side, it has a couple of clamping fingers of sorts, kind of a duck bill hand sort of thing. That works, it will grab some stuff. So that kind of works. However, this does not have good articulation, good useful articulation for the legs. The feet just rotate around, and that's it. So I guess you kind of imagine that it kind of shimmies along as it walks, something like that. There were some classic sets that had that kind of motion, but yeah, not that great with the legs at all. But again, something very, very different. So this is probably the weakest model of the three, but the most unique, I think, and a very respectable use of the pieces. You can also just run it without the robot in there if you want. And another way to look at this is to take the windscreen off, and then you can see kind of like a head on top of it, right? And then this is the Cyber Drone proper, the A model, the one that uses all of the official pieces in the set. Now this is nice. This feels comfortable to look at. It feels right. The design is just nice. The color blocking with that interesting color scheme with the sand blue and orange, it's really good, and it has plenty of the black in there to bring in some extra contrast. I like the lines of it. I like the flow, and it does have the ability to move about a little bit. It's not a thing where you just grab it and use your imagination and fly it. You can get involved a little bit with the aeronautics. So this is intended to be able to take off and land vertically. That's nice. You can angle these however you choose, however you want entirely. Do them differentially, so you can just imagine it's rolling or whatever. And I also like these flaps and the fact that they can be moved and changed, because you can pose that a little bit differently, and then it looks like you're using these as differential air brakes for potential steering or something. So I don't know if that wasn't intended, but as far as I'm concerned, it is. So there. You can also change the angles of these little stabilizers back here if you want to use them as control surfaces. You can also angle them up or down if you want to get a slightly different look. Maybe having the partial V-tail look is good, or you can go the opposite way. I think that's not as good there, but yeah, your choice, of course. The boom here can potentially be separated if you want to do something weird with it like that, or like that, or maybe think of this as a folding feature, so it actually can do that sort of thing, as almost a dolphin sort of look that way. That's interesting. Then I could actually, turn those. Hey, imagine that this is a hydrofoil speeder, right? So it actually stays just above the water, just on the water when traveling across wet areas. A lot of things you can do with it. I don't know. I just personally like the look of it. Canopy opens. There's no control panel or anything, but these ball ends here are intended to represent the controls that the robot is holding. Of course, he could just interface, like using a USB-C port or something. I'm just saying. Or whatever they have at that point, USB-G. But yeah, that's the main model. It's cool. When you build the main model, these, I believe, are the only parts left over. I feel like I may have lost one piece on the way to the studio, but perhaps I didn't. But either way, very little left over. That's about it for this one. It's a $10 set in the US, and I think it is absolutely, totally, completely worth it. Price part ratio kind of bears that out. Price to volume of stuff ratio bears that out, and the price to potential for what you can actually do with this. With any of the build options, to be honest with you, each of them I think is good. This is the best as usual, but yeah, I mean, also the figure is pretty cool. Figure maybe could have used some leg printing to make it even better, but as it is, yeah, this is just a pure good Lego thing. I did not do builds for these because I built them on my own time, so sorry about that, but I will continue to work to bring you more reviews very soon, so catch you later.